Hello there.
What is up, Super Fam and Bro Vengers alike? I am Sensei Finito, aka Vane Sensei, and welcome to Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture. And today we are going to be doing our watch party and review for the season finale of Skeleton Crew. Man, it's been a long time coming to do this. I missed it by a complete week, and I apologize for that. But here we are, and we're ready to get it in. So that's what we're about to do, my friends, is we're about to get it in and talk about this and nerd out and all the things in between. I am really pumped for today's finale. I have not seen this yet, so you guys are going to be getting my first reactions, my first impressions, and all those things as well. So, again, I'm really excited to get into it. I have really enjoyed this show week after week. It's been incredible. I have no doubt in my mind that they will give this a nice ending, but also leave a good opening for the future of what's going to be going on, no doubt, within the Mandoverse and with some of these movies that are going to be coming out in the next couple of years that are also taking place in the Mandoverse. I think actually only the Mandalorian and Grogu is the only movie that's actually that's like slated to come out, but we do have like season 2 of Ahsoka and all those other things as well, which we will probably talk about in a dedicated stream sometime this week or next week. Maybe Thursday we can talk all about Star Wars. That actually might be a good vibe, especially with all the especially with all the Star Wars news that has been hitting the scene, yo. So yeah, man, I'm excited to get it popping. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to nerd out with all of y'all today as we continue to talk about all of these amazing things that are going to be going on with Star Wars, and this, of course, even checking out this not trailer, but this season finale tonight. Man, I feel like it's been forever and a day since I've been out here with y'all. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be checking this show out, and we got a lot of stuff that hopefully is going to be popping off for the future of this channel, man. Crazy week last week, crazy week this week. So we're gonna lock in and we're gonna keep things going. I think we got some shows popping off soon. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time, bro, here at Marvel Bros. So I'm really excited to get it in. But if you guys are tuning in on Twitch, you guys can tune in on my Twitch. That's my Twitch at Vane Sensei, Vane_Sensei. I'm live on Twitch right now over there, and then I'm live on YouTube, of course, youtube.com/. Marvel Bros, MRVLBROS. So wherever you at, you can tune in on the other one and show some love if you do so. Please, so you feel me? Though, all right. Yo, I'm excited to get into it, man. I'm really, I can't lie. I think I said this already, but this show, I did not know what we were going to be in for, but I am pleasantly surprised of like around everything that we got. And I am pleased. Like, I am all the way pleased with it. I love all the characters that we've been introduced to. The lore that they've been able to weave into this story. It's really refreshing to be able to get Star Wars lore that we kind of don't know, but it's still within an era that we do know about. Because it's like we know virtually nothing about pirates, so they're able to really build upon the lore and introduce new characters and bring about these ships and things that are kind of myth or whatever the case may be, but also they're not of myth. Like, well, not that they're not, but they're not of the myth that we know of. Just widening how deep and enriched the Star Wars galaxy really is with lore. And that's something that I expected, but I didn't know that they were going to be going in with it so hard because, like, damn, they really were going in with it. And I really could, I really agree. Whoa, 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 whoa. I really did appreciate it. So, first, we're going to be checking out a Star Wars Skeleton Crew Episode 7 breakdown from New Rockstars, just so we can kind of lock back in and kind of get the wave of things, you know what I mean? And then we'll be going forward with checking out the the season finale. And then we'll check out a episode 8 breakdown also from New Rockstars, just to kind of get a full circle of what's going on, get a good explanation of it. And of course, since we've taken so long to even do this and these other videos are out, we might as well check them out anyway. You feel me? So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. Let's check it out. Let's dive on in and let's get the discussion going. All right. So let me see. Bam. Bam.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Boss, and this is a breakdown of Star Wars: The Skeleton Crew, Episode 7. We're going to be in so much trouble. Let's break down all the Easter eggs and details you missed in this episode. And yes, I am wearing a Neil-inspired just want to go home shirt because I, like Neil, always want to just pay the tab early and go home. And you can get one of these from our merch store, nerdriot.shop. Has a great way to support New Rockstars. And if you do, I will never say unclaimsies on being your best friend. As always, we open with a lineup of metallic heads, R2-D2, then Captain Silvo, who once again dons his helmet in this episode, then an RX series droid, C-3PO, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker in his pod racer helmet, who I think we have been seeing every episode, not just as a shout out to little kids in Star Wars who say things like wizard, but as a reminder of what this kid became, because I think it led directly to what Jod is now. And I'll get to that at the end of this breakdown, but we also see an AT-AT and safety droids, a Mandalorian helmet, and we end with the poor one-eyed SN-33 lit in blue, the lightsaber glow that decapitates him this episode. We open in the force of AT-AT looking upward at the nebular cloud that keeps his planet hidden and will be penetrated this episode, crawling down a tree trunk as a reptile referred to as a tree sucker by KB's parents in a bit, Mari and Gari. Oh, they rhyme. These parents come together to load a comms buoy with their message to their kids, and they require the access code transmitter from Numa, Neil's mother. She looks out at the tree line.
I have a
she was about to say the iconic Star Wars line, I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a very bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
And this show kind of does a version of it with we're going to be in so much trouble. What follows is a thrilling annexation of Puerto Rico style football play among these 5 parents who will be my first round draft picks for the intramural league, starting with Numa, who picks up the buoy and turns to run despite her species having shorter legs than the others. Numa is instantly stunned with the same blue glowing ring that was used on Leia in A New Hope. So AT-AT has security tech from the outside galaxy, which is interesting. Numa. We saw a similar stunning device used as far back as the Acolyte, which is at the end of the High Republic. So we know stun technology existed during that time. In this episode, Jod suggests that AT-AT has been hidden for hundreds of years, and hundreds would date the planet back to the era of the High Republic, not the Old Republic, as it was known in Knights of the Old Republic, because the official Old Republic would have been like thousands of years in the past.
See, okay. Now that actually makes sense though, right? I mean, of course. Like, yeah. That makes sense. I'm here for that. I didn't know that, but I think that makes sense.
Because the official Old Republic would have been like thousands of years in the past.
But I did know
the lightsaber that Wim and Jod recovered from Tak Renaud's treasure room seems to be from the High Republic era based on its gold and silver plating. When Numa is stunned, KB's mom, Marie, assumes she'll be fine, and they all keep running. But by the time the buoy gets to Farah, the safety droids know her by name, and she releases it like a baby Moses up to the sky. The freshly molted Onyx Cinder zips through hyperspace. Fern and Neil play with a hovering ball toy that makes similar sounds to the Imperial probe droid. And Darth Maul's probe droids. Actually, this ball is part of the slap ball game that was referenced back in episode 4.
But we do play this one game called slap ball. You know, like the... I'm one of the best players.
Wim bemoans that upon their return to AT-AT, nothing will have changed. He won't have achieved the grand adventure that he sought, and he still has to take assessment, which is the test that he was late for in episode 1, which would determine their future jobs. Brutus's pirate frigate arrives at AT-AT, and from the outside, it looks like a stormy green gas giant with nowhere to land. I just love this idea that part of what kept AT-AT hidden is that from the outside, it looks like just a gas planet with no civilization or occupiable land on it, as opposed to just what would be a nebulous cloud that might have have something on the other side of it, and thus would be worth exploring. Like, no one would think, hey, let's land on Jupiter. On Chelt's computer screen, the Orbesh translates to warning, so it's probably detecting the toxins of the maelstrom that Brutus referred to. Brutus is ready to send Jod out the airlock, but Jod insists that the whole planet is merely camouflage. He says Tak Renaud was here, and our researcher Noah had a really great theory about the first name of Tak. Like last week, I said that since Renaud is reversed Donner, as in Richard Donner, Tak in reverse is Cat, so maybe it's like a Donner cut thing. But Noah countered that it might be a reference to Kathleen Kennedy, the longtime George Lucas and Steven Spielberg collaborator, and now president of Lucasfilm, who unfortunately I think too many Star Wars consumers completely misunderstand the importance of to this industry. The fact that Renaud described Atatin as hidden inside an endless storm reminds me of Skull Island and the King Kong lore, mythical island of treasure forever surrounded by an unending storm. Brutus sends out the Quarren Glurb as a test pilot. Remember, Glurb is a Quarren to whom John promised a whole ocean for his glowweed plantation in his big speech last episode, and we see how one of his tentacles is severed, as most of these pirates are missing a limb or a stalk or a chunk of some kind. His helmet has actually been customized for a Quarren to fit their unique head shape inside of, and it has an orange visor similar to the Rebel Alliance helmets that the Red Squadron wore in A New Hope. The helmet actually has insignia that kind of looks like the English letters of JJ, maybe a reference to JJ Abrams. This fighter is a pirate snub fighter. This is the same type of fighter that we saw Bane and the rest of Orion Shard's pirates flying in The Mandalorian. Glurb's call sign is Ravager 1. Now, Ravager is just a common name for any kind of pirate or smuggler, but we are reminded once again of the Ravager space pirates from the MCU. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Whenever the calendar ticks over to a new year, it's hard not to reflect on where you are now versus where you were a year ago. Is your situation better? Is it worse? Is it the same? And more importantly, how do you feel about that? But expectations to make immediate dramatic life changes in 2025 can be overwhelming. Talking to a therapist on BetterHelp can help you break down vague feelings of being behind into specific addressable concerns and develop tools to measure progress on your own terms. Starting with BetterHelp is as easy as ordering gifts on Amazon. Just fill out a questionnaire and you will match with a therapist in as little as a couple days. If the first therapist doesn't feel like the right fit, you can easily switch to another one until you find someone you resonate with. BetterHelp also provides a journal for personal reflection, plus group sessions on a variety of topics that are available every day. Users love BetterHelp. They have over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, and it's obvious why. BetterHelp makes sure therapists on their platform
I'm not tripping.
now the other pirates have a pretty impressive hollow display of Glurb's fighter, plus biometric scans of his health, and all three flatline when the satellites fry his ship. The Orbesh translates to, from Jod and Brutus's eye line because the text is reversed, signal lost. Just before Jod is nearly blasted out the airlock, Chelt speaks up to alert a new ship is coming out of hyperspace, and it's Chelt who frees Jod from the airlock cell in a bit. So of all these pirates, she's the one most loyal to the old boss. The pirates all admire the Onyx Cinder's vintage design, and Jod realizes that for the Onyx Cinder to have landed on the planet and for it to have made it off the planet and to add Akron, it must have some kind of skeleton key to bypass the defensive grid. The pirate frigate uses a tractor beam to reverse the Onyx Cinder onto their hangar. Brutus walks up, but the kids use the crane arm to grab him. This is one of many times they've used this crane arm throughout this season, and now it's finally paying off. Jod uses Brutus's musket-inspired blaster to ruthlessly murder this unarmed first mate, and once again, this thing has a great flintlock sound effect that just really gives it some deadly texture. Jod says,
Brutus was a stinking, backstabbing mutineer.
a character named Brutus stabbing one in the back, you say? The brashness of Jod taking out his enemy in front of everyone, perhaps compared to Brutus dragging his feet with Jod with the airlock, I think is what gets this whole crew back on his side. And we learn that the Gran with the eye patch is named Pax. Jod puts back on his Captain Silvo helmet and orders the mechanism that allows the barrier bypass to be stripped and added to the full frigate, preparing for war to use his big ship's firepower to bomb the Mint on the Atatin surface. He later learns that he doesn't need that, of course. The supervisor just assumes that the sleeker Onyx Cinder is the Republic emissary, and he can get it just by, once again, faking it till he makes it.
Hold on, before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform that replaces all of these.
I'm still thinking that it's up to that the whole shit is ran like automatically. But we're gonna find out.
Onyx Cinder picks up the buoy, and on the screen we see some more Orbish. On the top left, Initiate, and DF. Below in red, Hyperdrive. In the middle, Incoming Encryption, and on the top right, Warp Drive. Now, we should know that the communication buoy was a device that so far exclusively appeared in the High Republic era from the High Republic Cataclysm. So I think that's a strong indicator that that's where this colony of AT-ATN originated. I think they were used before there were stronger communication technology that could send messages out super long distances. In the parents' recorded message, Hera's initial pose recalls Princess Leia's "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi" message from A New Hope. You do hear a bit of Carrie Condon's Irish accent coming through on her more concerned lines, and I kind of feel like no matter how good of an actor you are, when you channel your more authentic emotions, you end up just going back to how you were as a kid or how your parents would express concern to you, and just notes of that voice will always come out. And whenever I hear this, I think it's really sweet and authentic, and I love it. As Pax barks hutties at them, you can hear behind them that KB's parents, Mari and Gari, tell her, "Get your friends to help keep you dry." And while KB's friends got her wet last episode, Wim personally helped her change out the microfuse. Numa tells Neil that his brother just lost a tooth. Beside her stands Neil's father, Soul, and this swole soul looks pissed. Maybe it's just because the adult males of the species have scary tusks, but either way, a very stern papa here who is clearly dragged in from his man cave with the beer sign in his garage to record this recording and promised to do his best not to look like he's gonna kill Ralphie. Farah says the kids need to find a Republic emissary, who she and Wendell say are an official entrusted to know the secret location of AT-ATN. Based on the way the safety droids escort Jod later, thinking he's the emissary, it kind of looks like the emissary is just a special courier for the New Republic to transfer Old Republic data reads from the Mint to control the rate of inflation in the galaxy. It's also possible that some corrupt person has been posing as a Republic emissary all this time and flying into AT-ATN all this time to claim this money for whatever they wanted. That's why I'm still assuming all this dough is going to, in some way, fund the rise of the First Order and or Thrawn and Pelion's Shadow Council. Like, anybody could be taking advantage of AT-ATN right now. Wendell says that the kids weren't supposed to know about this arrangement.
Think about that. I guess anyone can be taking advantage of AT-ATN. Like, it could be very possible that the overseer is dead and it's just somebody else. Damn.
Until they graduate, suggesting a cultish rite of passage for AT-ATN residents that only after years of programming are they beaten down enough to not question how siloed their planet's function really is. Wim tries to attack Jod pathetically, and SM-33 points out that Jod technically cannot be captain of the Onyx Cinder in this moment because he's captain of the bigger frigate, and per the pirate code, you can only claim to be captain of one ship at a time. So Wim tries to call claimsies, but Jod silences him, and Fern calls unclaimsies on Jod's claim, which SM-33 chews on for a second before deciding, yeah, okay. Yes, this is completely childish, but it seems like a lot of the pirate code is childish. It's designed for simpler, immature, often drunken minds of pirates to quickly process and agree to. Whereas at the beginning of the season, Fern claimed the ship for girls only. Now she claims it's for kids only. So she has grown. And I love this shot.
I'm afraid it doesn't work like that.
SM-33's fist comes out of nowhere and clocks Jod, chipping off a piece of his helmet. The kids take the Onyx Cinder down through the barrier, passing satellites that now emit lightning. These could be modified or proto-versions of the Empire's climate disruption array, which was a network of satellites that could create terrible storms on planets below, whereas these make storms around a planet, and this all could have been part of the Emperor's Operation Cinder protocol after he died in Return of the Jedi. SM-33 reveals that Captain Renaud's genius was stealing one of the Mint's old ships so that he could safely fly it back through. So, question answered, the Onyx Cinder was originally a Republic emissary ship connected to AT-ATN that Renaud stole and used to get onto AT-ATN, and over the years upgraded it with pirate armor and weaponry. Again, I'm just wondering whether the emissary that AT-ATN had been welcoming in these years since might have just been someone else who was doing the same thing and using that money to fund very dark things. They pass a particular satellite with angry red paneling that turns into green light green when the Onyx Cinder passes, and finally the small lovely home planet of AT-ATN is revealed. A sun now shines on their faces, making me think for a second that maybe an artificial light source might have also been contained around this gas giant, but before I realize it's a distant sun that's cutting through this gas giant. And
that's crazy.
You are a writer, but writing novels is hard.
And not to overthink the astrogeology here, but were all 9 of the Old Republic jewel planets that share this unique state of being tiny planets hidden within gas giants with perfect surface climates and perfect distances from nearby suns affected by the layer of orbiting nebular gases? Like, they found 9 of these, or did they create 9 of these? The autopilot locks them into a landing sequence.
Just like on Hannah's planet.
Aw,
like
Neil
this
still thinks of
artificial around the
as the place where my new honey is. Fern says the title of the episode.
But there is no gas giant around the other planets.
So much trouble.
And she's right, but only for Jod reasons. He finally ignites his lightsaber on screen, and this is the first time I've been afraid of Blue Kyber in Star Wars since this moment.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them.
Yeah, because Brett's definitely gonna take everybody out. I'll never forget. I'll be like,
one of those younglings. We don't get that backstory in this episode, but more thoughts at the end of the video. Poor SM-33 gets decapitated, and that
I don't know if that's what happens in the finale, but we're about to find out.
Jod tries to radio to the others on the frigate, but the barrier just jams a signal on the screen. The Orbesh translates to terminal. Jod starts to snap at the kids.
Your incessant, unending jabber, jabber, jabber. Honestly, it is unbearable.
The way Jabba says Jabba sounds like Jabba the Hutt, which is also
I was gonna say, yo,
to
the way bro immediately turned on them and was immediately talking that shit, like the way you just constantly yap. I'm tired of your shit. I was like, whoa, wait. I wasn't ready.
Certain stormtroopers during the Rebels era. This kid.
And what would your name be, young man?
Jabba the Hutt.
And you are?
Jabba the Hutt.
Jod tells them this.
You're all weak, sheltered, spoiled children.
Again, I think he might be thinking about his own traumatic escape from Order 66. Jod threatens all their families, saying piece by piece, recalling SM-33's threat back in the previous episode. We get a classic Star Wars wipe transition on the opening door to Farah's office. The engraved art behind the safety droid shows a figure with both hands raised to hold up a banner, while other female figures kneel to the right and left. The audio description describes this as, quote, a mural mythologizing the Mint with robed figures. So, like to keep the workers of Adat focused on the work, they need to make this process of mining and minting gold dataries feel like a sacred task since like the days of the Old Republic. Even though a Marxist view would say the very existence of capital is an artificial invention used to oppress workers and control the levers of production. But listen to me reading from Nemik's manifesto from Andor. And finally, we hear the voice of the mysterious supervisor.
What was that?
Citizens of Adat, this is the supervisor speaking. An emissary is arriving for a shipment.
That's robot vibes, no cap.
So the supervisor is voiced by British comedian Stephen Fry, who has appeared in a number of things, but this particular take of his voice reminds me of his voiceover for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like
I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yo, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is literally one of my favorite movies of all time, not even gonna pretend.
Have all now been demolished. Ford and Arthur were in fact rescued.
Like the basketball court at the expansion and X-Men, the ground splits apart to raise a launch pad to accept what they assume is a Republic emissary ship because it's so last minute. These Adat picnickers have to flee. The safety droids go straight through their protocol to escort Jod directly to the Mint. And in this case, it benefits Jod, but it also deprives him of a certain amount of control over the situation. Fern had foreshadowed the existence of these mines in the first episode when she said that there was a mine underground.
The last kid who skipped assessment, the proctor took him down to a secret chamber under the school to make him work in the mines.
Again, all ghost stories and urban legends are based on truth. As they descend into the vaults, they look up at the opening, which now, from their point of view, looks somewhat like an imperial crest. A bad omen. They descend past this awesome, giant mechanical golden sphere that I assume is the Mint itself, like a High Republic era apparatus that mines and prints the gold. But visually, it very much recalls what we saw in Treasure Planet. Like, Evan has been saying since the beginning that this whole show is a Treasure Planet reference. And
I've been saying since the beginning that this whole show is a Treasure Planet reference.
Right. Jod wants to talk to the supervisor.
Better than dealing with a droid.
So again, I think the supervisor might just be a droid because that voice of Stephen Fry just sounded pre-recorded and automated. Then there's this great reveal shot as Jod enters the vault where we think it's just one stack of gold dataries, but the camera pivots to show like thousands of these stacks, and the droid says that there are over 1,000 of these vault rooms. Actually, the droid says specifically that there are 1,139 of them, which is one additional than 1,138 or 1138, which is a reference to George Lucas's THX 1138. Like Jod laughing as he climbed out of Renaud's treasure room covered in jewels last episode, he laughs giddily as he lets these Old Republic dataries pour over him, dipping his head in it like it's the fountain of youth. The kids reunite with parents, recalling the parents hugging the kids at the end of the Goonies. Then Jod steps up and ignites his blue saber right in front of Neil and Numa, again recalling this moment. We thought we were getting Jod's backstory in this episode, but now I assume it's coming in the finale. And again, I think he was one of those kids who saw that lightsaber ignite with the other younglings in the temple on the night of Order 66.
Interesting to see.
This episode was directed by Lee Isaac Chung, who is an amazing director who directed an episode of The Mandalorian. He directed Minari, episodes of Beef, and most recently had a hit with Twisters.
I didn't get to see
the line
Beef.
of directors they've got for the show, I think, is really the secret to its success. Hey, comment down below
Yeah,
with
the
your thoughts.
directors
If you've
are
heard some
insane.
rattling throughout this video, the Santa Ana winds are blowing so strong in LA.
Yeah, we are about to. I'm ready, man. So we're just gonna dive on in, and we're gonna check out the season finale of Skeleton Crew. So I'm excited to check it out, and I hope you guys are too. Y'all thought I was already on Disney Plus. Let's see. Yeah, 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 yeah. M R. Team manager. Edit. All right, chat. Let's get into it, man. We're about to check out the season finale for Skeleton Crew. I'm excited to get into it, and I hope you guys are too, because man, I've been enjoying this show. And here we are at the finale. The finale is 41 minutes long. Very not the longest episode, but not the shortest. That's a good time. I can't wait to see what this is. The Real Good Guys is such a W episode. I mean, yeah, that's a W episode title. I like that. Really good title there. All right, ladies and gents, chat and everyone in between. Let's get it crickling and crackling. I hope y'all ready. I know I'm ready like Freddy. If you don't know how we do things around here, I cannot show you the entirety of the episode. But what I can do is have it appear and disappear every once in a while. It will disappear and it will appear. It's there now. Now it's gone. And then we'll hold that and then it'll whoop, 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 boom, disappear. Okay? That's the only way that we can do it over here on the tube because that's how the tube be doing. But if you're on Twitch, if you're on my Twitch or if you're on the Marvel Bros Twitch, you'll be able to get a little bit more of a view. But unfortunately, no audio will be able to be given though. So, yeah, we'll get into it. I'm ready to get into it. I hope you guys are ready to get into it. We are about to check out the season finale of Skeleton Crew. On 3, we'll press play and check out episode 8. The Real Good Guys. Let's get it. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it crackling. Skip it. I don't know what that was. I kind of wanted to watch it, but I didn't want to get distracted. Bro looks fire in that mask, man. I can't lie. Ooh. Woo. Damn. This is about to get crazy. Bruh. Who's about to pull up? I love the music. I can't lie. Oh, that kind of went fast on that one. That was interesting. All right, here we go. Oh, he used it as a ploy. Bro is the master gaslighter. Oh, snap. Oh, bro is so menacing, and the music is so menacing, bro. Cold open. All right, I'm rocking with it, man. I like this so far. I didn't expect him to start murdering people right off the bat or anything, but nah, TV dinner diabolical. It has to stop. That's a home cooked meal. God, come on, Wendell. Man, what are we doing, Wendell? Oh, Wendell, Wandle, and Wim. We're meeting. Bruh, here we go. We're about to get Mad Wizard of Ozzy, baby. I'm ready for it. What the Feezy? That shit is abandoned, bro. Yo, it's really just been running on the automated system. Yep, it's a droid. The damn AI. It's Kevin. What the hell? Oh. 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 Yep. Bye bye, supervisor. Oh. Okay. I didn't, not gonna lie, did not expect that to be so easy. Oh. Well, that's that. Go. Holy. Mom Dukes is coming through. Begin the invasion is crazy. After just saying, nah, bro, we just gonna take our credits and dip. How do we get out of this, yo? You're such an idiot, Wendell. Ooh, buddy. That chip is badass, man. Frog dog. Oh, not bubble bath, Neil, bro. Oh, That is lit. They did such a great job with that. Oh no! Oh, I didn't expect that at all. Bro, Wendell is. Bro's not even listening to his dad. I'm so happy. And call the real good guys. Bro's gone. Damn, Wendell. Bro, I did not expect them to just start blasting. Yo, welcome to the Super Fam, Glenn. Appreciate you. Yo, just like that. This isn't something that just ends. Like they have to pull up with some, like a full force. Oh, it's going down way more than I thought it would be going down in this episode. Wendell's finally not being a Wandle. Yeah, buddy. That was pretty saucy, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that was pretty nice. How isn't it weird how the Vespas from not Breaking Bad, Book of Boba Fett were kind of like super duper cringe, but somehow these speeder bikes that are basically just bicycles are not as cringe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Oh, Neil! Not the rollout. Hey, my guy went. Well, I guess not really. Oh, because it's latched still. Okay, yeah, Pops would know that. Yo, Pops, Pops corny ass comes through. Poor Neil. His little legs. That's not how it works, sweetheart. Mm. He will. Oh, oh no. Oh, damn. Oh. Yo, this turned up way more. Damn. Let's go. Let's go for teamwork, chat. Oh shit, Wendell. Go, go, go. Get the hell up out of there, KB. Bruh. Let's go! W. Neal. Let's go. We're cooking right now. Yup. The New Republic. Damn. Damn, go look, it's diabolical. Bro is a menace. Ain't no way. Bruh, his kid, bruh, ain't no way. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way she's about to die right here. That no was, bruh. That no was from the soul. Damn. Mom Dukes, what the hell is you doing? Oh, bro got the force for real. Bruh, I got to, bruh. Sorry, Dad. I love you, Pop. Lord. Oh. Ooh. Mm. Bruh, I didn't even think about the bruh. Damn. Everybody is Weenie Hut Juniors. The fist is crazy. Okay. Man, forget the lightsaber. Oh, damn. Bro, what the hell is mom's problem? Bro, mom is making my back hurt. He was he was like, shit. Oh, bro, what the hell? Just what? Oh, okay, that was cool as hell. Damn, a whole generation that's never seen stars. Let's go. They pulled up. And they instantly start going crazy. They do not be taking hostages, bruh. They be like, nah, bruh, let's get up out of here. Because if they catch us, it's over. KB ain't dead. Damn, bro. Damn. The music. Dang. Oh shit. Yo. That was badass. I'm not gonna even lie to you. That was nice. W. Oh, let's go. Is that how it ends? Does it just end like that? Wow, that was actually so good. I'm not gonna lie, that was actually so good. Wow. I did not. Wow, I didn't expect that. Yo, awesome end credits too here. A lot of the stuff that we saw Wim looking at throughout the show. Dope. Ooh. Hmm. Yo, they gave us good stuff in this, man. They told us just enough. Like, yeah, this was good. This is super good, man. I'm really that was such a good show. That was such a good show. Oh, dope. That's dope. That's dope. It was his little thingamajigger. I like that, bro. Like that was pretty. I'm pleasantly surprised yet again, bro. This show never ceases to amaze me. I gotta be honest, cause damn, this show is just so good. Man, let me know how you guys feel about the Skeleton Crew season finale in the comment section down below. Let me know. Let me know. No. Okay. Okay. Now let's get into my overall review of the season finale. Woo. All right. Let's get into my overall review of the season finale. Let's see. Where are we? Wait, what should it? Let's go like right here. There we go. We just got done watching the season finale for Skeleton Crew, and man, this show is insane. I did not know what we were going to be going in for, or what we were going to be in for with this season, but this finale really wrapped it all up with a nice bow. I love the way that we were able to kind of just wrap everything up, but also not get every single answer that we were looking for. I love the way that Star Wars keeps things a little bit more ambiguous, right? They keep things a little bit more ambiguous because the story can always be told in another form of media. They can always continue the story in a book and a comic and a damn video game if they want to. And so these stories are so self-contained within themselves that you're able to enjoy just the story and get all the meat, the potatoes, the carrots, and the gravy, and then it just kind of be like, all right, yo, like, cool, that was the story. The story is told, and now that story is over. And that's kind of how I felt about this. While I would have loved to kind of have all of the things that have been introduced and seeded wrapped up with a nice little bow on it, I'm not opposed to that not happening every single time. Just for the fact that that's just not how it works all the time, especially when we're getting these glimpses of someone's life rather than an actual story being constructed as a story, I guess is the best way that I can put it. But I love the way that we started this episode with being able to check out everybody and just kind of like completely flip the script on what we thought was going to be happening for these characters. As soon as we come in, we see that Jod is not going full menace with it, but he's just being his natural menacing gaslighting self. And it was awesome to see that all of the kids kind of struggle. Well, not all of the kids, but to see, Fern and Wim really struggle to try to explain to their parent that this is not a good thing that's going on, and we need some help here. And I I couldn't believe how much of a doofus Wim's dad continued to be. I'm not gonna lie, that was crazy. Well, one thing I do have to say is like the symbolism to modern dayness is kind of getting really rampant now within the Star Wars universe, because they now also have TV dinners. TV dinners are now canon to the Star Wars universe, which is insane. First it was cereal, then apartments, now suburb houses, diners. Where does it stop? I really don't care. But man, I really just enjoyed being able to see them kind of just chill out together, and see Wim really come to grips. Not come to grips, but he kind of does though. Like he loves his dad and he misses his dad, and now again they all kind of realize that we know what we were fighting for. We know what we missed while we were gone, and there's a lot that I miss. And one of the biggest things that I miss is I'll miss you, Papa. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what Wim was saying here. And again, I love the way that these kids are acting. I love the way the kids are like in the show. It just works, man. All of it works together so well. And again, I think Fern is probably the best actor out of the kids. Like she was really bringing her A game in this, man. Like look at her. She just has so much raw emotion. She's so like just so filled with the anger, with turmoil. She's definitely scared. And I appreciate the way that these kids were able to really take over the role and just become that person, become the character. The use of the walkie-talkies in this show is also pretty cool. Really funny to see the way that Wim just kind of uses the walkie-talkie not only to talk to Neil, but then later on he comes back and uses it to kind of defeat the entire day and win the entire day. So I really appreciated that. As we go up into the supervisor's tower and we enter, it is just kind of clearly abandoned. As soon as we see this giant thing, I kind of immediately was like, oh, it's a robot. You kind of just kind of know. You kind of just kind of know these things after seeing so much things. Very much reminded me of Futurama. When it's like called Fembot or something like that, or Mombot, or I don't know what it's called. But I guess we now have Kevin in the Star Wars universe as well, because the man pulled up and was just, it was very interesting. And the way that, we already see that, we already know that Jod despises droids. So it was not a surprise for him to, just take it out quick, fast, and in a hurry. And we also find out that Fern's mom knows that it is a droid that protects them. Like they know, she knows basically everything, which is super interesting to me that she knows so much, because it seemed that no one else knew anything literally except for her. She's the only one that actually knew that they were being ran by a robot. And I don't know if that goes on to her lineage as being robots as well. But the thing that I really appreciated about the supervisor is that, he was like, yo, just clear up this tiny detail for me. The last message that we got from the Republic stated that Jedis all were traitors. So which are you lying about? Are you lying about being an emissary or lying about being a Jedi? Like, bruh, I love that. Like, I just love it. And I love all of it, bro. Everything works so well together. They weaved all these points together in a good way to make it kind of obvious in a little bit of they made it. Certain things are obvious and certain things are not obvious, right? Like the statues of different, not supervisors, but possibly different emissaries or just different secretaries or whatever, because they definitely got a whole judicial branch of some kind going on. Judicial, legislative, executive, they got something going on here. You know what I mean? And it was really, even though we just got to see a little bit of Jod using the lightsaber, it was still cool to see what we did get to see as he shuts down the entire city by taking out, Star Wars Kevin. It was a sight to see. This is where things went down. This is where it started going crazy. And I had no idea what was going to be going on next, man, because I knew that the pirates were going to pull up, but damn, I didn't know that the pirates were going to pull up like that, because they hesitate absolutely none. They pull up as soon as the wall goes down, as soon as they're granted access, they're inside. They turn on their guns. They start shining the spotlights down and literally just raining hell on everybody. Little Neil is just taking a bath, trying to mind his own business. His family's outside watching everything go down as well. And it's just like so sad the way that this ship just goes into straight overtime and they just start smacking everyone. Beautiful shots, beautiful cinematography coming from this episode as well. I don't know if, just saying, like the cinematography in this was insane. And then look at the destruction and havoc they just blast down. Like there's no way that people didn't die in this attack that is occurring. It got so real so quick. And I don't think anyone was actually ready for that. Like they have never seen an attack like this. They're not aware of this level of negativity, down to the point where Wendell is still talking about the goddamn safety droids. Like the safety droids are not going to do anything. The safety droids are not only decommissioned, but like they're also keeping us hostage in the house right now. What are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? A little funny moment here is, they find out that speeder bikes work, and then the dad just looks at the kid, and immediately you know that he's about to steal the speeder bike, and then he just pulls up behind the kids a little bit afterwards, and I love that, bro. I don't know if he pushed the kid off. I don't know if he judo kicked him or what, but it's just a nice little funny little note to see that kind of go down. I love the way that the pirates just straight pulled up, ready to rumble, and they rumbled indeed. Like they started going crazy. They literally started pillaging. We have not really seen pirates pillage in this manner in live action for sure. We haven't seen it in this form, but they really showed us that these pirates be pirating. And I'm pretty sure they also murdered some people. And they were just about to straight up take everybody to make them work for them, which is super sad. Kicking in doors, going door to door, arresting everyone. insanity, man. I did not expect, I don't know what I thought the finale was going to be, but man, I think they really hit the nail on the head with it for sure, because we got to see a lot of action. We got to see some good looking cinematography going on. We got to see some good action. I liked it, man. And I thought it was a great way to wrap up this children's show that's been very, very, dark in a lot of ways, and just exploring a lot of different themes within the show. And I appreciated them like kind of seeing the kids being able to separate, and then all be on their own mission and do it to the fullest extent after all being together the whole time. It was really cool. It was really cool to see them working as a team and not needing all to be right there with each other hand in hand or holding each other's hand. They were able to just handle business and do what needed to be done and then move on to the next step as they all continue to try to do their job, and they're being chased down, by the pirates throughout Atten. I just love it, man. I really had a good time with this episode, way more than I thought I would. I love the way that Neil immediately is like, bro, well, we're gonna get the ship going. So I'm gonna get I'm gonna get the turbocharger on the roof so I can help you guys get cover fire. Like, everything worked out really well, from them having to run away to where they ran to. I like the way that everything was driven together, and the narrative was told. And then we see, I love how we get to see the gold in the bed of not the bed, but in the ship. And then at the end, we get to see her kind of fall out with all that gold. Like, I don't know, man. I just really like that. I really, really like that. I think that was super cool. Again, like, just, bro, they were cooking with this show. They were cooking with the show completely. And then we get to see Wim kind of pull up and straight up take some inspiration out of Jod's notebook. Like, he just came in gaslighting and finessing, trying to buy time, saying everything that he needed to say that Jod didn't want to hear. And he did a great job at it. And Fern did a great job at it too. And it was just so surprising, though, to see their parents absolutely suck. Like, I definitely did not expect the parents to be just horrendously brainwashed, for lack of better words, and be so locked in that they're basically paralysis by analysis, man. Like, the mom pissed me off so much, the way she kept trying to stop Fern from, being great, basically. Fern was literally trying to save the entire planet. And Mom Dukes was just like, nah, man, like, we can just work for the pirates. It's okay. Even though the whole thing that's been protecting us this entire time is down, we'll be good under the pirates' control. Like, just crazy. And then, boom, we get to see our boy Neil pulling up with the turbo cannon. But they immediately lock onto him, and thankfully, those little legs get him out of the way just in the nick of time. And again, they all have a role to play, and they play their role so well in this episode. It just all works together, hand in hand, man. And I don't understand why. There was just something about Jod that was very ominous as well, to the point where it's like, I am kind of scared of the Republic, and if anything happens, it's gonna be bad for all of us. I don't know what that was. I don't know why he had that vibe. I thought we would get answers to it, but we didn't. So no backstory for Jod, which is okay, because he's actually the villain, and he stayed the villain. They did not redeem Jod Nonwood. You know what I mean? Like, no, they kept it going, and that works for me. That works for me. I like it. I like it a lot. I also like the beautiful shot of seeing the Onyx Cinder break the fog barrier, or the haze cloud barrier, and KB make contact with him, the owl lady. All of this was just beautiful. Love the way they just talk about, everything. I love the way she's like, yo, I got the New Republic coming for you. Like, hell yeah, you do. Hell yeah, you got the New Republic coming to save us. That's what I'm talking about. Had us ready to go. And I love the way that KB was able to rock it. I'll contact the New Republic, baby. Like, yo, they'll be to you in no time. And they pulled the hell up. Definitely makes me want to know more about Kim. Makes me want to know about everything that's going on. And when we really got to hear her sell it here as the crash occurs, and it's just so sad. And they're like, yo, you can do it. You got this. You can fix anything, sweetheart. And you just see that plane going down. And Jod is like, yo, she'll never make it. This is not what I wanted to happen. But happen it must, because you do not listen. And then we hear Fern drop one of the most gut-wrenching no's ever, bro. Like, oh, man. She put her whole heart and soul into that, chat. Like, her whole heart and soul. And it was really sad to see Jod basically be sad. Like, he was sad. He really was like, bruh, we came here for a reason, and it was just to steal your credits. But now, look, she's dead. And I actually liked that one. You know what I mean? Like, she was actually okay. Out of the lot of you, I liked her the most. That's how he looked, right? You know what I mean? Like, damn. Like, y'all just couldn't listen. It didn't need to be like this. You know what I mean? Like, he just wanted to get his money and run. And I love being able to see him break down, break down at the end of this, yo. Again, Fern's mom absolutely sucks, right? Their names are terrible, right? Farrah, Fern, Wendell, Wim. Like, goodness. That's what happens when you just locked up on this planet with no idea what to do. Like, why would the mom continue to stop her from taking down the barrier, bruh? Crazy, too, because he would have 100% shot her in the head if the mom did not stop her, which is wild. Like, wild, bruh. Look at that. Look. The mom literally stopped her from dying. And then as Wendell tries to do something, force push the hell out that dude. I am so interested in knowing who his master was. I'm pretty sure that the lore junkies for Star Wars will be able to, figure that out a lot sooner than me. And Jod does something. The way that Jod basically perverts all of the Jedi tactics is diabolical. Right? He uses the attachments against them. Like, he does all of the things that, like, Jedi are taught in such a reverse way. And that's why when Wim tells him, you are no Jedi, and now the real good guys are on their way. Like, bruh, yes, sir. Like, that is lit. I love it. I love it, man. They did a really good job with this one. I think this is a good entry point for all new kids with Star Wars, because sometimes they want to, like, if you just want to watch some Star Wars stuff and you want to watch something with your kids, I think that this is a really good combination of those things, man. Because the show is just fantastic. And then it was awesome to see the way, like, bro, like, again, Mom Dukes just was not locked in. I don't understand how Mom Dukes could not be locked in for so long, bro. Like, she just was slipping. Wendell finally had his moment to shine, and so did the mom. Like, bro, boom, punched the shit out of Jod. But he's not he's not a fighter. Wendell is not a fighter at all. Bruh, bro is fighting with his life, stopping Wendell and trying to force pull. Like, yes, bro is a G. And then, of course, Fern helps out Wim, and then Farrah goes and helps out Wendell. Like, damn, bruh. What a good, just really good. Just really good. And then right as it's pulled, the entire city, everything is immediately illuminated with light. The small bits of light that he was saying that he would kill for are now engulfing him. And then you get Wim finally getting his badass lightsaber moment, buddy. And what a way to end this freaking season, man. Like, this damn show, bro. I had no idea we were going to be absolutely cooking like this, but we were. And wow, being able to see the New Republic really pull up. I mean, it just hits, man. It hits. We have not, I feel like, we haven't really got to have one of these victorious, badass moments like this in a little while. And they just kind of wrapped in all of what Star Wars kind of be doing into this one show, but we're able to give it a completely different light, shed a completely different light on the galaxy in such a new and refreshing way, while also bringing memory to things that we know and love. And that is just, bro, fantastic, man. Look at that. Like, beautiful execution across the board, brother. Like, absolutely fantastic. And then we just get another badass shot of John Nawood walking to the edge, looking out, and just seeing how close he was to victory. And now it is just out of his grasp yet again. Damn, bro. Look at that. Look at the pain. Look at the bewilderment, the wonder, the thought. Like, bruh. I love this. I love this. I love this. So good. So good. And another amazing shot is right here as the ship, falls down, bing, and the hull falls open and just piles of gold come tumbling out. And then you also see KB slide with it. Like, damn, bro, that shot is nice, man. This shot is nice. Yeah, the cinematography was really good. And I just appreciate everything that they did with Star Wars, The Skeleton Crew. But let me know how you guys felt about this one in the comment section down below. Do you think that they stuck the landing with Skeleton Crew? Did you like the season finale? Did you not like it? Did it leave too much to be wanted? Or is this one of the best Star Wars shows that we've got in a while? I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your theories. And I want to know your questions in the comment section down below. Yo, what a finale! Like, wow. Like, pleasantly surprised is a understatement, yo. Definitely an understatement. All right, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, and then we will jump into the Star Wars Skeleton Crew finale breakdown by new rock stars. All right, so we'll get into that in just a second.
Hi, my name is Dominique Pruitt, and I started Don's Bon Gourmet Popcorn LLC in the summer of 2021 to introduce delicious and unique flavored popcorn not found anywhere else in the world. Why, you ask? Because I make it in my home with love, just for you. We offer over 10 flavors and are continuously creating new flavors that can be customized to any color or taste for your next event, party, or fundraiser. So go find yourself to our website and find a bombastic flavor of popcorn at donsbombgourmetpopcorn.com, or you can also follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Don's Bomb Gourmet Popcorn.
I'm just trying to go beyond the dinner.
What is up, Super Fam?
How's it going, everyone?
Welcome to Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture.
We started Marvel Bros back in 2019 because we have a love for not only Marvel movies and comics, but because we wanted to have a place where people could stay up to date with all pop culture news.
Here, you will have access to all of our content, whether it be trailer reaction. You look like He-Man.
Oh!
And most importantly, controllable.
Go!
Character breakdowns. Welcome to Marvel Bros. Breakdown.
Welcome to Marvel Bros. Breakdown, where we dive deeper into characters and theorize about the latest films.
Pop culture news updates. On today's pop culture news update.
And on today's pop culture news update.
On today's pop culture news update.
Today's pop culture news update.
Or movie reviews.
We love to have open discussions here on the channel, so feel free to join us when we go live.
Battle Cove, I like that Kang's motives are understandable in the same way Thanos' motives were. That's exactly what we're saying. That was pretty awesome. Well.
Or jump in the comment section of a trailer reaction or breakdowns so we can theorize, converse, and nerd out.
Follow us on social media at Marvel Bros to stay up to date with the latest news, rumors, content, and more.
You can also join our Discord, where we are constantly having conversations pertaining to Marvel, DC, Star Wars, anime, and everything pop culture.
All of our past pop culture news updates are available wherever you listen to podcasts at.
If you guys would like to support Marvel Bros, all you gotta do is visit our website at www.marvelbros.com and buy some merch. Represent the superfan.
To get early access to content, patron-only scoops, giveaways, private Alrighty, super fam and bro Vengers alike. Let's get into it, because it ain't nothing to it but to do it. So with all that said, y'all already know the deal. Facts. Like, bruh. Freaking insane. Damn. The finesse. Crazy. Mm-hmm. So much goddamn stuff.
Exploring and influencing.
Boy, oh boy, Mom, you sure can hydrate a pizza.
Which is also referenced in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I just saved $8.
Wendell does the classic single dad joke of saying this was home cooked. During their conversation, the safety droid swivels his head back and forth between father and son, like Zendaya and Challengers. Wim struggles to get Wendell to understand that there are things beyond the great work out in the galaxy, and in retrospect, that was the point of these past adventures. We saw Port Borgo, Wim's Moon, Ad Akron, Lanupa. All these places basically amounted to a variety of Star Wars experiences experiences with a mix of moral alignments of people living there to help these sheltered suburb kids learn that there is a richer life out there beyond the cul-de-sac. That safety droid overheard Wim radioing to Neil, and Wim pretends it was just him doing voices for his action figures. That safety droid focuses Iris a little bit, almost as if to say, wait, Fern was the name of that other girl you were with. Are you saying that one of your action figures that you smush against the other ones is named after that girl? Should I be reporting this? Jod, Fern, and Farah ascend the supervisor's tower, which points aggressively into the green gaseous barrier sky. Ultimately, I think that barrier was the big bad of this show. Inside, the supervisor's level was meant to evoke the Wizard of Oz feeling, with the voice of a reclusive old man coming from a giant mechanism. But also, according to the Star Wars website, that revolving conical shape was designed as an homage to the spinning dome top of R2-D2. And of course, the sinister glowing red light of the eyepiece is a nod to HAL 9000 in 2001: A Space Odyssey. Stephen Fry's voice returns as a supervisor.
Is that Undersecretary Farah I see? I have been watching over you and your daughter with great interest.
With great interest. A callback to the phrasing Chancellor Palpatine used when he spoke to Anakin Skywalker at the end of The Phantom Menace.
We will watch your career with great interest.
Jod asks,
You're ruled by a droid?
we never learn in the series who originally devised this creed for AT-AT and the great work, but even though AT-AT likely goes back to the days of the High Republic, maybe even older to the Old Republic, I think in more recent times, sometime around the Clone Wars, it was set up as a side slush fund pipeline for Palpatine, using droid resources from his separate contacts as Darth Sidious to keep this old mint from the Old Republic era printing gold to fund his projects during the Galactic Civil War. And that's why the supervisor is programmed to see all Jedi as enemies.
See, the last message from the Republic stated that all Jedi were traitors.
If that was the last message that the supervisor received from the Republic, it would suggest that the message arrived sometime around 19 BBY at the time of Order 66. Of course, Palpatine would continue preaching that the Jedi were traitors for years after that, but 19 BBY would also be the last time it would be called the Republic, because shortly after that, Palpatine rebranded it as the Empire. So really, that tells us that AT-AT has been operating siloed like this for hundreds of years, and then has had complete radio silence for about 30 years, or roughly the length of a single generation. And since Wendell and Farah's generation didn't learn the truth about AT-AT until they were 18, they would have spent their whole lives not only within this gaseous bubble, but also hearing no further instructions from any outside contact. By the end of the show, of course, the barrier is dropped and they have a view of the outside world, but that also makes them more vulnerable to other evil things in the galaxy, like the Shadow Council or the First Order, using the riches there to fund whatever evil things they're going to be doing. A subject that could get explored in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, or in the Thrawn Heir to the Empire movie, or in any other future Star Wars title. The supervisor catches Jod in his lie. I love how Stephen Fry's voice drops from a cheery timbre to a deep intimidation mode. The safety droids fire stuns at Jod, and I love how they move in the same low frame rate widening ring that they had in the 1977 film. And Jod shows that you can just use a lightsaber to parry stun blasts. They disintegrate like water balloons. Jod uses the saber to stab the supervisor droid in its red eye, and it wrenches out droid arms and appendages that we did not see before. And while it's hard to hear, it croaks this as its final words. Another unanswered question, what exactly the spherical mint mechanism was down below? Who built that? What powers it? I think it's some technology that dates back to the Old Republic, maybe some technology that was lost to the present era. I love this detail when Jod pulls the lightsaber out. Some of the metal has melted down in a kind of teardrop trail, but it also reminds me of the molten effect of Qui-Gon Jinn sticking his lightsaber into the blast door on the Trade Federation ship. We see an overhead shot of AT-AT as the power goes out across the grid. I love how you can see how much of a planned city this was, in addition to the outer rings of suburb streets at the city center. On the upper right corner of it, you can see what looks like an amphitheater or a sports arena. This blackout includes all safety droids deep into the suburbs, and, as we'll see later, the landing pad with the Onyx Cinder. Jod tries to override the barrier to allow his frigate to get through, claiming he just wants to take home some credits and leave, but Fern warns that Jod really wants to stay and basically rule the mint and all these workers and control the rates of inflation for the whole Republic. Jod ignites his saber so that it extends between the mother and her daughter, and I like the sound design on the hum of the blade as it ebbs and pulses like an animalistic growl. Like, I'm not sure we've ever heard a lightsaber sound so threatening, and maybe it's just because it's the one lightsaber in this title, and it's used in the presence of children and civilians. To stop him from bringing down the whole barrier, Farah shows Jod how to hack the satellites to contact the frigate to only let the frigate through. Gunter, we should note, looks like he was getting pretty cozy on that captain's chair when Jod calls in. These pirates, always eager to mutiny and stab each other in the back. Wim realizes the safety droids have lost power and shoves over the one in the living room, like Jar Jar and the other Gungans, tipping the battle droids and the Phantom Menace. The giant frigate looms out of the clouds over the neighborhood, looking like the alien battleships in Independence Day. But then, with the immense pillar and the lights over the town, kind of a mix of the ship from Close Encounters of the Third Kind and the Martian tripods in Spielberg's War of the Worlds. The Ithorian neighbor, Mrs. Ick, and her frog dog return from the very first episode. We saw frog dogs originally in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi, and I love how one of Neil's first things to do since he got home was to take another bubble bath. But when that frigate searchlight comes directly through the skylight, it's gotta be pretty unsettling for a kid to have that light on him when he's in a tub. Like the tripods in War of the Worlds, there's a silence, followed by the invaders opening fire on the civilians. The first thing we see is this deep-powered car. Behind it, in the background on the left, is that Mel's drive-in structure that we saw in episode 1 as a reference to George Lucas's American Graffiti. Neil's family reacts, but the twins in the grass shout, "Pow, pow," excitedly, while Wendell and Wim try to start their car. KB and Neil ride up. I love that KB on Fern's hoverbike has a badass engine purr, while Neil's bike gives us a little bike bell. Ding, ding. Also, he's got the handlebar tassels. I love these. I also just appreciate KB being in the driver's seat now of this hoverbike after Fern previously had to drive it while KB was in the sidecar. Wendell passes Bonge Falfa, that was Fern's hoverbike rival from episode 1. His name, Bonge Falfa, is a reference to Bob Falfa, Harrison Ford's character from American Graffiti. Wendell catches up to them on Bonge's hoverbike, which we never saw him actually take from Bonge, so who knows what he did, but I love this cut too. Also, a grown man stealing a kid's bike is a reference to Josh Brolin as Brand stealing the little girl's bike in the Goonies to catch up to the kids. The pirates raid that town, and suddenly it's like the pirate invasion of the town of Port Royal in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Vane's dropship tries to cut off the 4 bikes, which leads to a really fun chase through the yards of the neighborhood. I love how the camera turns to follow Neil and the others through the grass and the fences. This whole bike chase, obviously a nod to E.T. That's part of the reason it's so thrilling to be on this ride. KB leads them over that same ramp over the barrier fence that she and Fern used in episode 1, and Wim and Neil didn't think to use at the time. Wim shifts gears to take his hoverbike into full throttle, and this sound effect, I think, was taken directly from the Phantom Menace pod race. They all jump the ravine,
Very
full throttle,
similar,
which
for
the
sure.
Star Wars site confirmed is a nod to the bike flight in E.T., though I guess a recreation of the iconic shot of passing the moon or even passing the sun might have been too on the nose, but hey, this guy is also completely covered in green gas clouds, so there's really no celestial orb to use to recreate it anyway. But that's why I appreciate the final shot of this is an illuminated full moon that they might not have even known was there. So now they can recreate their E.T. flight whenever they want. I don't think I'm going out on a limb saying that we all like to be comfortable when we sleep. Nobody wants to wake up sweating bullets, and these things are always just loosely stacked like Jenga bricks, because I feel like just slightly brushing them always causes them to tumble like a house of cards. They're unable to launch the Onyx Cinder because its docking struts were shown clamping onto the legs last episode, but Neil finds a turbo laser on the roof, just like on Haina's planet, remembering Ad Akron as the planet of his new love, Haina. Fern tells Farah,
Everywhere we went.
His new love is crazy.
Even the worst places. There were good people too.
I think this is another theme of the series as a coming-of-age story. As scary and dangerous as the outside world can be, it's also full of good people and helpers, like Catholips, the big boy in the Lanupa Spa. It's just a guy who just wanted to hear a good story. Wendell and Wim skid down the river, evading Vane's fire and getting back to the supervisor's tower, where Wim tries to fake it, having a crystal of the founders to attempt to fool Jod into thinking he's already called the X-Wings.
I'm just giving you a chance to surrender now, because the whole entire Jedi army is on their way.
Bitcoin hit a new all-time high.
Yo.
Crypto is making headlines. Will this cycle play out like those in the past? Will altcoins...
And that's where Wim oversteps, because Jod would know that the Jedi have never had an army. I mean, they fought as part of an army during the Clone Wars as commanders and generals for the clone trooper soldiers. I guess back in the old days, the Jedi did kind of have an army when they were fighting wars with the Sith and with the Mandalorians, but that would not be anywhere around the time now. They don't realize that Jod personally saw part of the Jedi purge in the years after Order 66. Wim slips away and they manage to restore the power to the landing pad, allowing the Onyx Cinder to break free. Neil covers her by using the turbo laser to take out the frigate's cannons. Katie Jedi manages to pilot the Onyx Cinder using
So
SM-33's
he's
disembodied head that
technically a
Bildrat crawls out of
Boken
SM-33's eye hole onto
Padawan,
KB's head,
but not
like
a
Remy in
Boken
Ratatouille.
Jedi.
KB calls Kim, Aaliyah Shawkat's character from episode 3. It is so funny to watch the Bildrat on the dashboard there not understand that Kim is a hologram because he tries to like paw at her. Kim calls the New Republic fleet saying they're real pirate busters. Now at this point in Star Wars history, the New Republic fleet would be under the command of General Leia Organa, with commanders like Hera Syndulla also in key leadership positions. We saw Hera and Ahsoka, and actually General Leia was mentioned, and it might actually be Leia or Hera on that CR-90 Corvette that shows up. The Onyx Cinder gets hit by the pirates, and it crashes back to that Aten surface. The kids watch in terror as they think KB is dead, but if you'll notice, at the last second, it steers into a more controlled swoop, and we don't see any fireball from behind the building, so it wasn't a full crash, just falling with style. Knowing the X-Wings will need the barrier down to engage the frigate, they go for the barrier override lever. Each time, it seems like Jod is actually aiming for the lever itself and not for the kids, because at the end of the day, he doesn't want to kill these kids. Instead, he just threatens Wendell. Jod finally reveals his backstory.
I was living in a hole in the ground, and a Jedi found me. She may have been desperate and ragged like me, but she told me I had potential. She only taught me a little before they hunted her down, and they made me watch whilst they killed her.
So, Jod was an orphan who was found by a female Jedi who was on the run herself, and she trained him for a time, but was ultimately found by the Empire and killed while the young Jod had to watch. That would suggest that that happened after Order 66, a female Jedi who survived and was in hiding from the Inquisitors, from Darth Vader, and then ultimately the Inquisitors or Vader or just stormtroopers found her and killed her. So who was this? Probably not someone we know. Like, it wasn't Yaddle. Yaddle had an earlier different death before Order 66 that was shown in Tales of the Jedi. It wasn't Luminara Unduli. She was caught by the Empire and used as a trap for Kanan and Ezra. She had been killed while in custody. It wasn't Shakti, who died a different death and was not accompanied by any orphan kid at the time. Some people are wondering Barriss Offee from Clone Wars, but her fate was explored in Tales of the Empire. No Jod or any orphan kid there. Some are also wondering about Jocasta Nu, the Jedi Temple librarian. Well, her fate was explored in the 2017 Darth Vader comics, and while she did have some time after the Purge, we did see her death in those comics, and there was no orphan kid with her then. Reportedly before the series, some are saying that there might have been an actress named Haley Webb cast for the show as a Jedi character named Nina Nawood. Maybe there was a scene that was removed. That was never confirmed.
That would have been cool.
I just think they wanted this Jedi to be one of the many Jedi out there who survived but were eventually hunted down. My theory is that it might have been Lena, the Jedi from Wim's story pad. Jod says this is the galaxy.
No. That's awesome though. I love that. I love that. There's two things that I think are really dope from that, and one is that means that, of course, we heard that Baylan, is his name Baylan? I believe Baylan in Ahsoka, he introduces the idea of Boken Jedi. Boken Jedi are all of the Jedi that have been trained outside of the Jedi Temple after Order 66. So when that term was introduced, I didn't think about how many people could actually be Boken Jedi because you have, like, for example, Ezra is a Boken because his Jedi master was a Padawan. But I didn't even think about Jedi masters that survived Order 66 and then went on to train other Jedi still. Like, because that definitely had to happen. Damn, that's pretty intense. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty intense. There's a lot of... So there's Boken Jedi out there, and then there will also be quote-unquote real Jedi out there by the time we get to, like, the new trilogy stuff. Hopefully that term and all those things stick around.
With a few pinpricks of light.
He's not wrong. Most of the galaxy out there is empty space. It's the darkness he focuses on, but for the people of Aten, they've never even got to see those pinpricks of light. So to them, every bit of that light means hope for them. Wendell punches Jod and Wim grabs the lightsaber. Notice he turns it over in his hands this time. He has learned from his mistakes. As Jod uses the force to pull Wendell's hand back from the handle, you can actually see his bones start to crack. Ugh. But Farrah helps him pull it, and light, like they have never seen, looking to us like natural sunlight, fills the room as the barrier gas dissipates. Now, since Aten receives a normal balance of sunlight enough to sustain its current plant life and ecology, would this not fry Aten from solar radiation? Maybe, but again, it's Star Wars.
Trying to catch your breath? Because I see you hopping between softwares all day instead of using Connect Team, the all-in-one platform to manage your employees. I'm talking about live scheduling.
Hope you're having a good day, bud.
We gotta let it go. Like the kids saw in episode 1, the adult Jin,
say that
maybe,
again?
but again, it's Star Wars. We gotta let it go. Like the kids
Let it
saw
go,
in
buddy.
episode 1, the
Have a
adults
good
on this
day,
planet
G.
now see real stars for the first time in their lives. And it's followed by a sight that always gives us joy, a squadron of X-Wings, followed by
Bruh,
B-Wings.
I love
More on those in a second.
that
First,
was
we see
fire.
X-Wing
Yo,
Commander
that was
Kent,
fire.
played by
I
Andy
love the
Powers,
intro.
returning from episode 3.
Blockcast foils in attack position.
Okay, I thought we saw
you
bro
know
before.
He said that because he heard some recording of the Red Squadron during the Battle of Yavin.
Blockcast foils in attack position.
The pilot who responds is named Captain Kale Tan, which I think they got her name from Caitlin Shara Moore, who the actress who plays her. The third pilot we see is an Abednedo race, a species created for The Force Awakens, and might actually be Elo Asti from Poe Dameron's Black Squadron. All the Abednedos in Star Wars ever since have been named after Beastie Boys songs because J.J. Abrams is a fan of the band. So Elo Asti was named after Hello Nasty. The other Abednedos in The Force Awakens include Crusher Roo Down, which I think is based off of Root Down. There's Ilko Munica, which I think is a reference to ill communication. Bresmon Key, reference to Brass Monkey. There's Soa Chuan.
Nah, that's crazy.
There's Adi Muva from Body Movin'. There's All's
Damn.
Boutique, based on Paul's Boutique. There's Slow and Low from The Last Jedi, based on Slow and Low. And then in The Acolyte, we met Senator Izdua Chuant, based on Soa Chuant. So these New Republic
That's
X-Wings light up the pirates, and
diabolical.
then the B-Wings. Oh my God. They do the composite beam attack.
Yeah, that's
we saw
fire,
this in Rebels
bro.
Season 2, Episode 7, Wings
I
of
was
the
about to say, I don't
Master.
think we've
That
seen that in
era of
live
the B-Wing
action.
fighter was the prototype B6, also known as the Blade Wing or the Bevel Wing, which is a prototype B-Wing, heavy assault starfighter designed and built by the Mon Calamari engineer Quarry as part of the Project Shantipole. What we see here is a B-Wing E starfighter or B-Wing expanded. It's a modification of the original Slane and Corpil B-Wing design. The Mark II model incorporates the composite beam laser that the original Blade Wing prototype
looks
was designed
really
with in the
good, bro.
role-playing game. This attack is arguably what B-Wings are really best made for, and it's the first time we've got to see them do this in live action. It is the ultimate kill move against the frigate, and I love it. Jod
awesome.
doesn't join the others and sadly watches the frigate crashing and exploding. Non-verbally, we just get the slightest Jod nod to Jod's future. He looks down in lament, and then, as if sensing a new path forward, he just looks upward, and that's the last time we see him. Kind of like Captain Jack Sparrow. This guy is always going to get away. There's always going to be some other ship out there for him to commandeer.
That's
They
crazy.
find
I
the
was
Onyx
definitely
Cinder
thinking about
crashed
Pirates
in
of
an
the
atrium,
Caribbean.
gold spilling out with KB. She is the ultimate treasure. She's okay thanks to SM-33's landing. She wakes up asking,
Did we win?
we heard this spoken early on in the show when Jod activated one of the original battle droids when he was looking for SM-33.
Oh, yeah.
But this time, they finally get to answer, yes, you did win.
W
Neo
circle
takes the Bill
storytelling
Track
yet
as his new
again.
pet, and our final image shows Wim seeing a few X-Wings flying past, followed by a CR-90 Corvette blockade runner. Yes, the same type of ship as the Tantive 4 from the New Republic. And this kid is clearly excited to join the Resistance someday. I'm going to assume that on this ship is General Leia Organa. And the only reason we don't see who's inside is that, well, we don't need to see another CGI Leia, do we? We can just imagine that she's inside saying, hope. And I love that we end with a shot of the moon while we don't get the classic Amblin image that formed the Amblin logo of a kid on a bike steering across the moon. Just the fact that we have a moon in the sky now tells us that it's possible. I love the credits of the show. It show various tableaus from Wim's story, starting with that female
That
Jedi
was fire.
Lena. I think that might be the female Jedi who was the one who saved Jod. We see the shot of the Jedi Temple and
Why
the
would you
Jedi
think
facing that large monster that we saw in the first episode. Then that looks like the Onyx Cinder flying over a valley. Next, we see a Jedi riding what looks like a Kadu, and that Jedi is about to be ambushed by Trandoshans. Then a Jedi meditating by floating rocks. Then I think that same Jedi Lena fighting a Sith. Then another Master healing a Padawan, maybe on Dagobah. It looks like a swamp planet. And then the last tableau is the skeleton crew as the Onyx Cinder takes off from AT-ATN in episode 1. And then we realize this story pad is switching off when we're on Wim's bed with his two action figures beside it. The very first shot that we got on the AT-ATN planet, making this all a meta statement of this entire series. The story of the storytelling. Wim and Fern and Neil and KB and SM-33 on the Onyx Cinder is just another legend meant to inspire some other kids looking in at this from another screen. And those kids are us and our kids. And what a great series this was to watch with our kids or with your parents. It was just such an amazing thrill ride. And I think it captured the joy that Star Wars should make us feel. Comment down below with your thoughts in the series and your favorite episode. Follow me at EA Voss. Subscribe to all 3 channels.
Episode indeed. W show. I had a freaking lovely time watching, man. I really did. I can't lie. I did not know how this show was going to be, but it was so much more like grittier than I thought it would be. There was a lot more action going on than I thought there would be. Like, wow. Like, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Yo, fire, bro. Fire. Like, legit fire. I really can't wait to watch this show with my, you know what I mean, with my fam, with my mom and my wife and my kids. We're gonna have a really good time checking this out. We'll probably check it out week by week as well because damn, yo, what a good vibe. Everything about it was just crazy. And I'm so excited that we get to see John Wood pull up somewhere else. No doubt in in the movie. I mean, there's a lot of they're going to be trying to cast a lot of people in that movie just to get some, just to, get some banger names going on too, They're gonna pull a good old a good old nostalgia bait, but they're also gonna pull the good old pop culture bait, which I'm fine with. You know what I mean? I mean, hey, do something different, G. That's all I can say. So let's get it. You know what I mean? Somehow, some way, let's get that shit going. And Star Wars is going to be crazy. We had a couple announcements that came out today. One of those announcements being that Ryan Gosling is going to be making his appearance in Sean Levy's. Well, he could possibly be making his appearance in Sean Levy's Star Wars movie that's going to be coming out, or that he is actively working on, which is freaking crazy to think that we're gonna have Ryan Gosling in the Star Wars universe. No doubt as a Jedi, you know what I mean? That's probably what he'll be is a Jedi. I'm down for that. All of that is super dope, Like, all of that sounds good. All of that sounds like kind of right up the alley. Get one of those good names attached to it, make him a Jedi, and make the story kind of rock. Well, not make him a Jedi, but get that going. I know there's been rumors of a Cal Kestis movie coming out as well, or a Cal Kestis centered project. I'm hyped for that. I mean, all of that sounds dope. That's what I think Star Wars really needs to do. Is just continue to tell stories across the eras, man. And don't try to focus so hard on the Skywalker saga, because it is not going to be a 100%, money maker or whatever the case may be. Like, you gotta lock in, you gotta diversify across the timeline, and the Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be the first step in kind of trying to get out of that Skywalker saga in a way, but still actually being in the comfort of the Skywalker saga at the same time. So until we get that Sean Levy project and the other one, what was it called? What was the other Sean? It's Sean Levy, and that's the one that's going to be in the future of Star Wars. And then there's someone else I think that's going to be doing the history of Star Wars, somewhere in like the Old Republic or something along the lines of that. So, those are going to be some W stories that we can get coming out. And I think the main thing we need to do is get the hell out of the Skywalker saga in every shape and form, whether that's with movies, whether that's with shows, even animations. I think we just need to get away from the Skywalker era. Like we know Order 66 and all these other things. And of course, there's a ton of shit that still went on within that era. But like, what's the point? Let's just get out of that. We got, what is it? 9 movies. We have 9 movies and 4 shows, maybe 5. 4 animated projects 5. Yeah, 5 animated projects. And what is it, like 5 or 6 Disney Plus series that all take place in the Skywalker saga. That is insane. We need to go ahead and leave that shit alone, buddy, and go, get past that. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm excited for Sean Levy's Star Wars movie. And Sean Levy is, he's cool. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I'm not tweaking. Yeah, Sean Levy is who does Deadpool. He's done Night at the Museum. He's done some solid movies. So to see him do a Star Wars movie after just doing, Deadpool and Wolverine and bro, I think that could be a solid hit right there. But I don't know if it's a 100% hit, but I think that he could do the damn job because Free Guy's awesome. Night at the Museum, he knows how to pull the heartstrings, and he also knows how to make some badass stuff go down, right? And he knows how to kind of activate a nerd in a way, right? He knows how to get nerds nerding out. So he knows how to get down and nerdy. So that's what I think is gonna be one of the driving factors behind that movie, and having Ryan Gosling attached to that, bro, Ryan Gosling and Sean Levy, Star Wars film, yeah, bro, and then everybody's gonna want to see Ryan Gosling as a Jedi, of course. So I'm there, man. I'm there for it. Ryan Gosling just having the success of Barbie and other movies like that. He is a name that we all kind of expected to come to the nerdier side of things. I think most people expected him to join into the MCU, but this makes so much sense to see again Sean and then him together over here. That it just makes sense. It's wild, but it makes sense, and it's also huge news for Star Wars. It definitely is going to shake up what's going to be going on for the duration of Star Wars, and we're going to be hearing a ton more announcements probably surrounding this coming out soon. We've heard, like I said, there's been a lot of Star Wars announcements going on within this month. Of course, last month we got the main actor of the bear, can't think of his name, but he was cast as Boba Fett's son, I can't think of his name, in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Then we found out that Balin had been recast with the actor who plays not the Mountain, but the Mountain's brother. Can't think of his name. On Game of Thrones, though, which is a great recast going on right there. And of course, that's so sad, and it's still very sad that we lost Ray Stevenson, and big RIP to him. But I know that the actor, I can't think of his name, but the actor that has, took on the role, they were actually best friends in real life. So it just kind of brings it all home, and it's kind of like no one better to kind of portray the role than his best friend type of thing. It's kind of one of those things, and I really like that they went with that in that direction. So we have that for Ahsoka season 2 coming out, and then of course this announcement here with Sean Levy. So it's we got 3 Star Wars announcements so far, and that's in a very, very short time, right? That's in a very short time. And we're pretty sure that we're going to also see the Skeleton Crew, no doubt, show up somewhere else within the Star Wars galaxy, if not in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie that's going to be coming out, right? Bro, there's so many things that's going on with Star Wars, and they've just kind of been silent, which is very smart after all of the stuff that happened over there with, projects being greenlit, but no scripts and all this and all that and all that and all this. There's a lot of that going on. So it's really good to see that they're going to be trying to handle things differently and, kind of doing things differently, hopefully for the foreseeable future. And, that a lot of that comes with, if I'm not mistaken, Dave Filoni now also is the, what is it? Is he what am I doing right now? The co-creative officer or something like that on Star Wars projects. So I'm really excited to see what that could mean. And I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of Star Wars fans should really show up and show out for The Mandalorian and Grogu, because that movie is probably going to be very pivotal for where the future of Star Wars is going to go, and whether it, stays in the hands that it is currently in, or whether it is kind of moved along down the road a little bit more, and that allowing Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau to have even more of a say so over what's going on at Star Wars than they do now, and then continue to increase the amount of say so that they have over all of the preceding projects. So I think that would be freaking fire. I'm down for it. Again, I'm so down for that. I actually really need that to happen quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because I would love to see Dave Filoni really be able to be at the mantle of all these projects and create some really good Star Wars stuff. Not that there hasn't been any great Star Wars stuff created, because I mean, The Mandalorian is an awesome show. I really enjoyed Ahsoka. Did not enjoy Book of Boba Fett. The Obi-Wan Kenobi show was not good, but I did appreciate the Ray Patterson cut. I believe Kai Patterson cut of that, which is really phenomenal. Like the Kai Patterson cut of it's not the Book of Boba Fett. The Kai Patterson cut of Obi-Wan Kenobi is phenomenal in every way, shape, and form. And I know he's also doing a cut for the Ahsoka show, so I am pumped to check that out as well and see kind of what's going on over there. So yeah, man, like Star Wars. No, even though those movies, those 7, 8, 9, were kind of wild in their own rights, I think that people kind of forget that Star Wars doesn't do a lot of explaining with anything, and they do a lot of filling in the gaps with other projects. And I don't know if that's the thing that people are accustomed to in this era anymore. And I think that Star Wars needs to get up on their game a little bit more as well, with like talking about what they're doing. Like we need Filoni, we need whoever to jump on stage and really start we need someone to Kevin Feige that shit up and really start focusing in on telling these stories, making good ass movies, not worrying about the quantity yet again, but the quality of the movies. And I think that's something that we could see happen for real with The Mandalorian and Grogu, and of course all the other Star Wars movies that are in I guess production right now. Because it's not just The Mandalorian and Grogu. There is another Star Wars movie that's actively being worked on. I can't think of it though. I think they just talked about it in that new Rockstars video that we were watching as well. But again, I can't recall. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Let's see. What?
Be Leia or Hera on that CR-90 Corvette that shows up. The Onyx Cinder gets hit by the pirates, and it crashes back to that Aten surface. The kid, General Leia's like Harrison Dulla's history. The New Him calls the New Republic fleet, saying they're real pirate busters. Now, at this point in Star Wars history, the New Republic fleet would be under the command of an Aten surface, more control. Watch General Commanders and start pause the build draft too. To the Turbo Edge to personally saw part of the Jedi Purge in the years after Order 66.
Who? What in the hell is the other movie that's supposed to be being made? Because it's The Mandalorian and Grogu. And then there's another one, bro. They just said it in the video. Oh, it's right there in my brain. Bro. I just can't think of it. I don't know why. Oh, the Thrawn movie. It's the Thrawn movie. I remember. Heir to the Empire. the Thrawn Heir to the Empire movie that's supposed to be happening. So those two movies are going to be bangers, and it's going to be insane. Like that's all going to be insane. And then there's also, I think my guy Mike Beasley was just telling me today that, or yesterday, that Natalie Portman is also in talks to possibly return as Padme, because Obi-Wan Kenobi is also going to be returning, because we have the announcements that Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen are going to be returning for Ahsoka season 2 to shoot some more like flashback scenes, basically, like, and make them more accurate to stuff that was going on within Clone Wars. So it's even possible that we could see a live action Clone Wars movie released, but it be like a story told from the cartoon or some shit like that. And I know I was just saying we need to get out of the Skywalker saga, and we do. But if Dave Filoni needs to make some movies in the Skywalker saga so he can get the keys when we get out of it, I'm down for that. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's how a lot of people feel, even though everyone just want, like, there are some people that just want George Lucas to take, unsell it to Disney and all these other things. But we try to be realistic about what could happen next, what could happen next in our nerd theories. So that's why I'm like, man, let the Mandalorian and Grogu be absolutely fantastic, please. And then also have that Thrawn movie, Heir to the Empire, be insanely incredible. Link all that shit together and really wrap a nice bow on the Skywalker saga. Allow for Rey, Ahsoka, Ezra, Cal Kestis, and all these other Jedi that have been spread across the galaxy for one reason or another to come together and actually create this new Jedi Order. Have Finn be a Jedi, whatever they need to do. You know what I mean? Just kind of skip. We need that in Avengers Endgame 5-year time jump so we can get out of the Skywalker saga, bro. Like, that's all I can say. They tried to get out of the Skywalker saga with the Acolyte as well, but we see how that went. People had their own issues and their, whatever around that. I don't think people didn't like it because it wasn't in the Skywalker saga. Yeah, people liked it for a lot of other reasons, but that's a whole nother ball game. The thing too is I don't think we're ever going to get to that point where Star Wars reboots or anything close to that. So until then, not even until then. So in the meantime, in between time, while a lot of people are going to argue about what is and what isn't and all these things, all we can do is just look at what the thing is and talk about it from that standpoint. I feel, and that's why I'm like, bruh, just let the Mandalorian and Grogu be great. Hand the keys over to Dave Filoni. No shade to Kathleen Kennedy, I guess, because I mean, we wouldn't have got the Mandalorian and Grogu. We wouldn't have had, a lot of these awesome Star Wars moments that have been able to occur, because there have been some awesome Star Wars moments, but overwhelmingly, there's been a lack of Star Wars content for so long, and that's an issue. Like, that's definitely. Star Wars is a cinematic experience, and it's unfortunate that we haven't been able to have that experience in a really long time. I mean, episode 9 came out in what was that, the same year as Endgame, I think? Was it the same year as Endgame or the year before? Yeah, the same year as Endgame. So that's 2019 and we're in 2025. So we haven't seen a Star Wars movie in 6 years, which is kind of wild. But we've seen a ton of content at the same time. So, and I think by the time The Mandalorian and Grogu comes out, I think that movie is slated for 2026 or 7, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I made that up. The Mandalorian, 2026. So yeah, that movie comes out next year. So it'll be 7 years since we've seen, a Star Wars project once The Mandalorian and Grogu comes out, and that's crazy. That's crazy. But it's going to be chock filled with everything, which I think is awesome. That was one of the kind of, I don't want to say gripes, but 7, 8, and 9 didn't have like, I don't know. But I'm excited that we're about to see like, Mandalorian, Jedis, this new Jedi stuff that's going to be going on with Balin. Like all of these narratives are going to be kind of interconnected into each other in its own way, and that's going to be freaking awesome because I don't think we've seen that happen. We have not got to build up to something with Star Wars, right? Because we already know what the build up has been, and they just keep telling backstory, so we're not able to build up to anything new, really. So I think that's something that would be freaking awesome with the Mandalorian and Grogu, Ahsoka, the Ahsoka season 2, Heir to the Empire, like, bruh, like just bring it all in, keep doing it. They're actively trying to canonize things that were quote unquote legends or EU. Like those things are actively being canonized into Star Wars. And it's like people are mad about it, but I'm like, bro, this is the thing that people have been wanting. Like, don't get mad. I know it's not the way you wanted it, but in order for it to happen the way we want it to happen, it has to be drip fed in a way that we don't. That's just how it goes. They got to dot some I's and cross some T's just so that the teacher needs to know that you'll do your work before you get a little bit more. Before you get a little bit more liberties, bro. That's just how it goes, G. That's just how it goes. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited for the future of Star Wars. Star Wars content is not going to be dry by any means because we're going to have Andor season 2 releasing. Again, we have that Ahsoka stuff. I think there's some other projects that I'm just that are eluding me at the moment, but we're cooking. We're cooking. So let me know all your guys' thoughts, theories, and opinions, not only for Skeleton Crew, but for the future of Star Wars too. We'll probably do a Star Wars dedicated video this week at some time just to talk about all things Star Wars, cover all the latest news, kind of get down with that, everything we know so far about the general Star Wars news, just as a way to nerd out and, explore into a galaxy unknown. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their day. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video because it definitely helps out tremendously around these parts. You can also follow me on social media at Sensei Finito to stay up to date with all my thoughts, theories, and opinions of whatever particular thing I may be partaking in at that particular time. Or you can follow us on social media at Marvel Bros to stay up to date with all things Marvel and everything pop culture. We're always posting the latest news, movie reviews, and everything else in between, so make sure you pull up and let us know how you are feeling too. Okay? Okay. Again, I appreciate you guys. It's been awesome, and I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their day. As I always say, stay awesome, stay nerdy, and don't forget to stay marvelous. Excelsior.